All right, we're back doing a slab bowl, which is one of the fastest and easiest projects to do. We're going to be using a bowl that I have wrapped in cling wrap to keep it from sticking, my handy dandy rubber smoother, a pencil, a rolling pin, and then we need something to place in and press onto the clay. So I went out to my yard and my poor little pots of plants, and I got some different things like some lavender and some weeds and some ferns. So we're gonna use those. These are actually morning glories. All right, so because you all know how to roll out a slab, we're going to have that. I rolled it already. Could use a little bit more here and there. Remember, if you pat the clay, your hand is gonna be there. Also remember to make sure we don't get a cracked pot. We are going to smooth both sides. So I'm going to use my rubber smoother and I am gonna smooth both sides. And I'm gonna go a couple different directions just to make it look nice. And if you notice that your clay is a little thicker in the middle, roll it out a little bit more, because we want it to be as even as possible. All right, so now I'm gonna flip it over, because remember, we always smooth on both sides. Then I'm going to take my sponge, which is damp, so squeeze all the water out. Now if you want plants on both sides, that is cool. You do not need to remove them. They will fall out when it is a little drier. So I am going to put some morning glories in here. And you want to arrange them so that they look pretty. And I think I'm actually going to do that side down because I want to get some of the flowers in there. And then maybe a piece of lavender. All right, I'm going to gently, so gently, press down with my rolling pin. And I actually want them to stick into the clay. So and go ahead and let things overlap. It looks pretty. All right, and that should do it. Then we are going to actually, before I do this, I want to roll things out on the other side too. So I'm going to flip my clay over. Smooth it out again because I had a fold in the fabric. Rub it with just to smooth everything out. And I think this time I'm going to use some ferns too. And a couple more pieces of lavender. And maybe just a little bit of this. That's a lot. Okay, not happening. All right, and then we're going to repeat the process. I'm just going to lift these up so you can see what it looks like. They look really pretty. And I don't know if this one's going to lift up. But it looks lovely. All right, now I am going to take my pot. I am going to kind of center it over it. And I'm going to take my pencil, because remember we don't have our tools from school. And I'm going to just do a loose border around here. And I'm going to let it go ahead and be about an inch outside the layers of the clay, the border of the pot. So now I'm going to take the sponge. I'm going to run it around again. Try to avoid your design, obviously, but you want to get these little ridges off there so you don't have a bunch of really crumbly clay later. Now I'm going to lift this up carefully, and I'm going to lay this over the pot. I'm going to do this side up so I can see what's happening. Then you take the edges of your pot and you gently let them curve. That's pretty. Let them curve, and kind of where you have the folds naturally is where you're going to pop up that edge. And if you want to go ahead and curl it, you can also do that. It looks really pretty. Let's give that one a little curve. You need to kind of adjust it, do that. Let's run this around the edges one more time so that we don't have anything weird on this side. And if you want to get rid of any textures that happened, go ahead and do that as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'm going to stick one leaf right here because it's kind of empty. And maybe one of these. Oh, that one's pretty squished. So if you don't like the placement, you can always make sure you remove all the plant matter and you can just try it again. That's the cool thing about this. All right, that is it. And then in about, I don't know, in this kind of weather, a couple hours, it'll be leather hard and you can remove it and see what you've got. And that is the sum total of this project. Thank you.